Americans, our movement is far from over. In fact, our fight has only just begun. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. So with American pride swelling in our hearts and American courage stirring in our souls, I say these words to you. We will make America great again.
From Rhode Island, he is a member of the Homeland Security Committee. Congressman, thank you for being with us. So the announcement, a drawdown is being planned. It's in the works, conditional, but it's being planned. Also said a focus now on targeted operations, which Homan admitted they got away from. How significant are these statements?
Well, first of all, no kidding, they haven't been targeted. And it's a shame that it is taken.
We're obviously concerned about officer safety and have seen and heard about increasing threats and assaults against law enforcement. Director Lyons, are your officers trained regarding the difference between a protected protest and what is unlawfully impeding law enforcement?
Yes, sir. Deportation officers and special agents are taught at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center. They are taught in defensive tactics, personal safety, but as
Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So without wasting much of your time, I'm going to take you straight to what happened today, what content I have for you today, and what has happened in the States of America. So today, a top immigration and a custom enforcement official from the Trump administration was questioned under the oath, and the cross-examination raised serious concern about how immigration policy were carried out in the state of America. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through what happened, why it matters, and the way forward about this particular video. So what was the hearing all about? This hearing was organized by the member of the Congress to review immigration enforcement during the Trump era. How the IC made major decisions, whether political pressure influenced enforcement, and if legal rules were followed at all times. The witness was a senior ICT officer, someone directly involved in the shaping or a carry out immigration policy. This was not casual question. The official was testified under oath in the presence of the Congressional Congress. What happened during the cross-examination? During the hearing, lawmakers began asking direct and specific questions. They compared the 8 past public statements, internal government email and documents, and a previous testimony directly to this particular ICE officer. As the question continued, inconsistency began to appear. At several points, the aide struggled to give a clear answer. Why would him? Some questions were vague, others seemed to contradict earlier claims. These were the tension in the room increased in that particular time. The moment that changed the hearing, one key moment stood up. A lawmaker presented documents suggesting that decisions were made directly than the aide had previously described. Under the pressure, aide acknowledged that procedure may not have been followed exactly as claimed. Political influence could not be completely ruled out. This led to sharp reaction inside the hearing room. Some lawmakers accused the witness of being evasive, others defending the aide, saying the questioning was unfair. Regardless of the political perspective, this testimony is now part of the public record and has renewed call for further document review, additional witness, and a closer oversight of immigration enforcement practice, leaving the public to decide whether the hearing represented genuinely accountability or another chapter in Washington's ongoing political battle.
We're obviously concerned about officer safety and have seen and heard about increasing threats and assaults against law enforcement. Director Lyons, are your officers trained regarding the difference between a protected protest and what is unlawfully impeding law enforcement?
yes, sir. Deportation officers and special agents are taught at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center. They are taught in defensive tactics, personal safety, but as well as laws to include First, Second, Fourth, Fifth, 10th, 14th Amendment. The officers are trained before they go out into the field, and then while they're in the field. They are specialized training in disturbance control and other special tactics.
Commissioner Scott, are your officers similarly trained?
Yes, they are. At FLETC, ongoing training in the field, and then anytime we're deploying them to the interior, they get updated law refresher training to include First Amendment and Fourth Amendment.
So I want to focus on the training here because with the historic investment in both ICE and CBP, there was a surge in hiring. I need to know, for these new hires, is the training different than what other agents and officers received before the hiring surge? Mr. Lyons, I'll let you start there.
No, sir, it's not. The training was never, the meat of the training was never removed. The timeline was. We took training from 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, to 6 days a week, 12 hours a day. In addition to that, training is different in the fact that before officers even go to the Federal Law Enforcement Training Academy, there's pre-employment training, which we never had before. And on top of that, we've adapted our on-the-job training program, which is much like a city or state field training officer program that once they are removed from the Federal Law Enforcement Training Academy, have graduated, before they return to their field offices, they're assigned a field training officer, and that's continued on after that.
So let me get this. For ICE officers, the curriculum has stayed the same, but it's now a quicker training. The timeline has moved up?
That's correct, sir.
Okay, but the curriculum is the same?
Yes, sir.
All right. Commissioner Scott, can you talk about if there's been a change in training since the hiring surge?
There's been no change in the training within Customs and Border Protection. Border Patrol agents go through a 117-day academy. The CBP officers go through a 103-day academy. That's actually training days. There's been no changes to that. So the only change that has been made is in our quarterly training. We've added scenarios based on what we most likely think they will encounter in the field. So we've actually added some of the protest type encounters as well.
We can get this administration to stop this.
Mayor Price, can you talk about the legal case that you were pursuing and how this shooting changes your strategy? What is your best case scenario on Monday when you go to court?
Yeah. So there's two forms of request that we have been asking for. The first was this temporary restraining order. The other possibility is some form of injunctive relief. Now, I don't want to get too into the details because I'm bound to get something wrong, but the question is one of urgency and immediacy. The issue is that we recently saw somebody shot and badly injured. We then saw somebody shot and killed, and that was the second one. Chief, I think we've only had 3 homicides in the city this year. Is that right? 2 of them, ICE. 3 homicides. 2 of them were from ICE. And so the relief that we're asking for is stopping this Operation Metro Surge in the immediacy. It's preventing this massive influx of agents that is making it very difficult for us to do our jobs in the city as well as we need to do them, and we need to do regular day law enforcement as well. Yes.
With us now is Congressman Seth Magaziner, a Democrat from Rhode Island. He is a member of the Homeland Security Committee. Congressman, thank you for being with us. So the announcement, a drawdown is being planned. It's in the works, conditional, but it's being planned. Also said a focus now on targeted operations, which Homan admitted they got away from. How significant are these statements?
Well, first of all, no kidding, they haven't been targeted. And it's a shame that it has taken 2 dead American citizens, children being locked up, people having their houses barged into without warrants in order for this to happen. We never should have had this to begin with. And to be clear, it's not just Minneapolis. All across the country under the Trump administration, they have been violating people's civil liberties, including United States citizens, by being untargeted. By their own data, only about 5% of the people who they have locked up and deported are people with violent criminal records. The vast majority of the people they've been detaining are people with no criminal records at all. And so, you know, it's good to hear someone in the administration finally telling the truth, that they have not been operating in a targeted way and that there needs to be change. It's just a tragedy that it's taken so many shattered families and unfortunately the killings of 2 Americans in order to get to this point.
In all likelihood, you'll have to vote on this. It will come back to the House to pass at least the temporary measure on the Homeland Security version. Would you be a yes or no vote on that?
I'm not going to vote for another dime of Homeland Security funding until there are real reforms included in the bill. Look, Republicans have control of the House. They can pass it whatever they want with Republican votes, and they already have. That's my feeling. Again, speaking for myself, I'm not speaking for our leadership or anyone else. The other funding bills, fine, already voted for those. We should pass the others. But we cannot take the administration at its word and take them, when they say that they're promising to make reforms. We need it in writing, in law, and I'm not going to vote for any other funding until I see that language in the bill.
Please, if this is your first time watching this video, please you can hit up the subscribe button, like and share this video for more videos like this to come in the future. Peace out.